Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to discuss my number one personal favorite build to come from Season 16. We're in the final couple weeks here of the season, and I just wanted to, last video from Thursday, I just wanted to cover my favorite weapon from the season, and I want to cover my favorite build that's come out of the season. It's not a void build necessarily, but I just wanted to cover my favorite build that came out from the Season 16 loot that we got, and I really can't stress enough how much I love this build. It brings a unique way to play Revenant Hunter, and it brings some much needed variety to the Hunter class. Hunter, for the last year or so, has really been about Bottom Tree Night Stalker and the strength of Bottom Tree Night Stalker. Revenant kind of helped a little bit because of Revenant's super, but this really brings up Revenant's neutral game and brings it into, in my opinion, equal with where, Omni Oculus is in terms of team play and its overall power. I know it's a unique build and it's different and most people aren't used to playing it yet, but this is, my by far favorite build from Season 16. So we're going to hop into the build. I'm going to show you my aspects, my fragments, and then all of my mods on my armor, and also recommend to you my preferred primary with this build. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Alright, we're into the build portion of the video. Alright, first up, the class. Since we're on a 3.0 class, always going to cover the class first. I am on Marksman's Dodge, not really trying to get my melee back here, really. The whole goal of this build is to abuse the power of Renewal Grasps and the damage resistance that Renewal Grasps have. So I'm on Marksman's Dodge, just helps me reload my weapon and lets me keep shooting as much as possible so I can shoot my headstone crystals and the crystal inside of the Dustfield grenades. Obviously on Dustfield, seeing as we are on Renewal Grasps. For our aspects, we're going to be on Touch of Winter. This is going to stack on top of the Dustfield size increase that Renewal Grasp gives you to make the Dustfield just absolutely huge. And it also will help with the size of the crystal that's created with Renewal Grasps in total. So you create this really big crystal in the center that you can use as cover, and will also give you more ability regen through Whisper of Shards. And then we're also going to be using Whisper. We're also going to be running Winter's Shroud. Sorry about stumbling over my words there. In my opinion, Winter's Shroud is Hunter's Ice Flare Bolts. It's like the yin to the yang for Stasis Hunter. You should be running Winter's Shroud if you're on Stasis Hunter, because it lets you play the class in its aggressive manner that it wants you to play. It's almost like, in my opinion, Invis Dodge on Night Stalker. It builds into the fantasy of the class. It makes the class feel the way it does. Brings a lot of power to the class. Being able to slow PvE enemies is actually really powerful. And when you can throw down a Dustfield grenade, give yourself, 50% damage resistance, and then dodge to freeze them, you're playing pretty safe while playing also really aggressive. For our fragments, we're going to be running Whisper of Chains. This is a key part to the Stasis build, because it's going to give you resist times 3 with the crystal there, or if you freeze any targets in the Dustfield and don't kill them right away, which that resist times 3 is the same damage resistance as Well of Tenacity. So you have basically the same damage resistance of Well of Tenacity on demand when you need it. And you'll see that even with the nerfs that have come to Renewal Grasps, this build feels just fine, and you still can spam the grenade just as often as you would have if you're just on a normal Dustfield. We're going to be running Whisper of Durance. This is going to allow our Dustfield to last for ever. It's like a 24-second Dustfield or something, if I remember the numbers correctly. It's really long, and with Whisper of Durance, that helps make it that long. And then lastly, we're going to be running Whisper of Shards. This is going to let us get grenade recharge rate boost when we shatter any stasis crystals. So either the ones from Headstone or the ones that spawn from inside the Dustfield grenade. The number one most important thing about this build, if you really want to take advantage to it, of it properly, I highly recommend a Headstone Unrelenting IS Luna. And the reason I'm going to specifically say IS Luna is the only gun currently in the game that can roll Headstone with Unrelenting. Unrelenting normally for me is a B tier perk on a gun, maybe even a C tier perk. But when you pair it with Headstone, it becomes an S tier perk because the Headstone Crystal counts as a weapon kill, not as a ability kill. And so when the Headstone Crystal Explosion gets a kill, it's going to immediately trigger Unrelenting. And Unrelenting is going to give you about 80 health, and then immediately your health start regenerating. So this will help you play with that aggressive manner that you need to have when you're playing on a stasis subclass. Alright, now we're going to head into the armor. For our helmet, this is pretty standard stuff. We're going to be running Ashes to Assets for one of our helmet mod slots. Grenade kills. These grenade kills count when you get the Stasis Crystal Shatter kills from inside the Dustfield Grenade. Those count as grenade kills, so that will help boost your super regeneration rate, and you're already on a really quick super with being on Revenant, obviously, so this helps boost that. We also have Harmonic Siphon, so that way any double and triple kills we get with our primary being IS Luna or any stasis weapon, but preferably IS Luna, they're going to cause orbs of power to spawn, once again helping our super regeneration rate, because this is a very good super in endgame, in basically any content, especially endgame content. We're going to be on Bountiful Wells. This is just going to let us create more wells when we do create them, specifically up to 4 stasis wells, the way I have this build spec'd out. Onto the gloves. Gloves are relatively simple here. If you have the space and you have everything masterworked, and you can move the mods to the right spots, I would not run an Elemental Ordnance here. In fact, actually, let me move this so y'all can see the way I would run it. I would take off, I would run this here, I would run this here, this here. For this season, Font of Might is dirt cheap at 1 cost, so I would actually run Font of Might here. And then that way you can run a Grenade Kickstart with whatever champion mod you're running. Obviously, I'm on IS Luna, so I have Unstopped Hand Cannon on. But if you need to run a Scout, run a Scout. If you need to run Pulse, run Pulse. We have Headstone weapons of every type this season except for Bow. I wouldn't run AB Bow. If you're going to be running AB Bow, I would just throw an Arbalist and sacrifice the non-Headstone weapon. On to the chest piece. Our chest piece is on Void, as I've mentioned all season, and as we're wrapping up the season, until the season ends, my chest pieces are going to be on Void. This might change next season, and I'm going to be going back through all of my Season 16 builds next season, and updating them for Season 17. I'll go Hunter, Warlock, and Titan, just go back through all of them, and show them back off per class. But here for Season 16, chest pieces are on Void. This just lets us run all 3 resists without a problem. And if we need to spec into double arc or double solar, we don't have to worry about changing our chest piece at all. And we can just pop on Void resist when we need to. Also have an elemental ordnance here on the chest piece. Now, if we head to the boots are up next. They're going to be on solar. 2 reasons for this mainly. First is just recuperation, really, honestly. Recuperation lets you get a little bit of health each time an orb of power spawns for you, so that's going to really help with your health regeneration when you're playing aggressive with this class. And then we also have an elemental ordnance here on the boots to in total spawn 4 stasis wells every time we get kills with our grenade. Actually, it's 6 total because we have 3 elemental ordnances on. Then we have another elemental ordnance. Now, this is something that you could adjust in long term. If you needed to move some mods around and you wanted to run elemental armaments instead, so that way when your primary gets some kills, you can spawn them that way. And in future seasons, when you need to move mods for Font of Might, so I do recommend Font of Might. It makes the primary feel a lot better. Then you can do that as well. But the class item for right now is on Solar. The main reason for this is the double bomber. This will let you get your grenade back whenever you dodge near the dodge, and you're going to be doing that a lot to reload your primary, since Ice Luna has a relatively low reload speed. And the double bomber just makes sure you can spam your grenade. If next season, if we have like an overload stasis melee or a unstoppable stasis melee or like an overload stasis grenade, then I would highly recommend you throw that here on your class item. But that is it for the build. Now we're gonna wrap up the video. I just want to say this build is like by far my favorite build this season. I know that I probably already stated this in the intro, but this is like my by far build that's come out of the season. It's super unique, and it's a super like fun way to play the game. Alright, that's gonna be it for the video today. I just wanted to thank you all for watching this video. I hope that if you learned something new about Renewal Grasp and PvE, and maybe this video sparked your interest in Renewal Grasp in PvE. I think got shown off what they can do in PvP, and I think the PvE community kind of just ignored them, kind of just looked over what they can do. But they're really strong. They're really great, actually. I ran them for my Fallen Saber clear. They were my exotic and build I ran this build for my GM Fallen Saber clear. Really helped my team with the ad control, and then also helped my team stay alive when we needed to move or like get away. The Dust Shield Grenade providing a little extra damage resistance for us during the clear. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider leaving a like on the video. And if you are interested in more content just like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. We just broke 250 subscribers. That is huge. That's a quarter of 1,000. It is unreal to me. When I started this channel, I had 4, and 3 of them were friends and family. So that's kind of crazy to me. I appreciate every single one of you who watches this video or any other video, and I will see you on the next one on Tuesday for the ability build you'll need to win Guardian games. Thank you, everyone, and see you then.